compassion meets innovation. I'm your host, Saima, and today's episode takes us into the realm of healing we don't often talk about our pets. Joining us is Dr. Jeff Feinman, founder of Holistic Actions, a pioneer in blending holistic science and soulful connection to revolutionize pet wellness. With his upcoming book, Path Pet to Wellness, Jeff is empowering pet parents to co create a better quality of life for their beloved animals. So, let's explore what it really means to heal together, species to species. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, so you're welcome.
You're warmly welcome, Chief. It's my pleasure to have you here. So, Chef, most people treat pet health reactively. So, I'm really curious to know that what does it mean to proactively co-create wellness with our animals?
That's a great question. Well, I think it may begin with realizing that that all animals, including people, but our pets are a good example that they are designed, they have built into their DNA the ability to rebalance and heal, and that we can help them heal by starting to imagine them as well balanced and part of the world as they are designed to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's really great. And I love that perspective actually, Jeff, that especially the idea of being in partnership with our animals that's really great. So could you give an example of what that proactive wellness approach looks like day to day for someone with, like, say, a senior dog or a cat with early kidney issues?
That's very important because it starts with something called the beam. Beam is like the beam of light coming from the sun, or the beam of light of a lighthouse that guides you to safety. Beam is an acronym that stands for behavior, energy, appetite, and mood. And that is a reflection of their internal balance and internal health. And by observing beam every day, by knowing what your animal's beam is, you can actually be proactive about their health and help them to be the best that they can be. Know that maybe there are certain things in the environment that you need to shift a little bit, that maybe you need to feed them a different food or earlier or later. But basically, beam are those intangible symptoms or things that we can feel within ourselves. We can see some of them, like the appetite. We can see them every day. But if you have an older cat with kidney disease, they start drinking more and they stop eating less. That means their beam is going down. And there are ways to proactively manage that before you get into a serious situation.
Mm-hmm. That's such a clear and compassionate approach, Jeff. It really shows how small, intentional choices can make a huge difference in our animals' quality of life, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, can you share a story where improving lifestyle, not just treatment, transformed an animal's life?
Sure. I will use my own rescue dog as an example. She was rescued in November of last year. She was born in a shelter in Tennessee and then moved up here to the New York, Connecticut area. She was never socialized. She had lots of vaccinations. She got an ovariohysterectomy before she was 12 weeks of age. And when she came to me at 4 months of age, she was scared of everything. So she couldn't even walk through a door. She couldn't go up or down stairs. She couldn't walk on the street. And all we did was modify her environment, allow her to make her own decisions, respecting her wishes, and working with her body in a way that energetically smoothed things out for her. So that right now we've used no drugs, no vet intervention except for homeopathy, and we can talk a little more about that if you like. But right now, Maya, my magical Maya, is lying by my side, chewing on a bone, and is very, very happy. And all those fears are gone.
Hmm. That's a beautiful one, Jave. I mean, that story says so much about the power of consistency, love, and really listening to what our animals need on every level.
Exactly, and that listening is perhaps the key to everything. Is we have the ability to communicate with all of life, with all other people, but also all of nature and our animals. But it all starts by listening and remembering that intuitive ability that we all have. And yes,
Hmm.
this is their demand, listening to what they want, watching their nonverbal cues. Dogs are really, really amazing communicators. We just have to listen.
Yes, that's a beautiful reminder. I agree. Now, do pets often mirror their human companions emotionally or energetically?
Both, actually, the emotions are a form of energy, and our pets mirror via the mirror neurons, in their brains. Our pets mirror the energy that we have. So they may be in a good, quiet, balanced state. But if we're anxious or we have an argument with our spouse or with somebody in the household, then our animals are going to get agitated. And conversely, if our animals are agitated, we just sit down and meditate and we quiet our minds, they respond in kind in a beautiful way.
Mm-hmm. That really resonates. I mean, it's a reminder that our inner world doesn't just affect us, it ripples out those around us, including our animals. And it's really incredible to think about how closely they're tuned into us, right?
They are very, very closely tuned into us, and they are tuned into all the energetic emanations of life all around them. Maya was just outside right before we talked. She was just outside staring at the ground, and there was just a little bee, buzzing around in the ground, and that was just super fascinating to her. And that's a good example of how animals can help us focus on what is most important in life, and that is just looking and feeling and being part of the world.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Now, let's talk about holistic actions. Can you share that what sets your platform apart and how are you educating pet parents to become more empowered advocates?
Sure, yeah. Holistic actions is indeed unique in that we are based on a framework of healing that activates the natural healing abilities of every animal, every individual by using energetic medicine. By energetic medicine, I mean things like our mindset, our breathing, our what we do every day, and as well, homeopathy. So holistic actions based on understanding what our pets' bodies are telling us via their symptoms. Because we see symptoms as a homeopath would, as clues to what's going on in the inner being of the animal, and that is what allows us to keep them and allows us to teach people how to keep their animals in the best balanced state possible.
Mm-hmm. That's such an empowering model. I mean, it's clear that you're not just offering information, you're really building confidence and community around proactive, conscious pet care. And I really love, Jeff, that how you're combining education with real support. It's a game changer for sure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we really just want every pet parent, every animal guardian in the world to know that there is an option, that there is an ability to go to holistic actions and learn the model of the path to pet wellness that we are talking about. And they can do that very easily, for free. Just go to Holistic Actions and take our free one-on-one course, and that will get you started.
That's remarkable, Jeff. So, what common myths or mistakes do you often need to help them unlearn?
My goodness, I probably shouldn't even go here, but the most common mistake is listening, giving all your power away, listening to others, and not trusting your own intuitive sense, your own guidance, what your animal is telling you, because you, as a pet parent, know your pet the best. The vet may be able to tell you what the numbers show or what the x-rays show, but the biggest mistake we may make is ignoring our inner wisdom and giving our power away to others.
Hmm. That's really a great reminder. I mean, because like so often we are taught to override our instincts, but when it comes to animals, that inner knowing is one of our greatest tools, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that may be our greatest tool, because we have that inner knowing better and more effectively than virtually anyone else, because our animals and us are sharing that, that energetic field, all day, every day, instead of, rather than just a visit to the vet or a visit to the groomer, or your animal, you know what to do intuitively. And what we do at Holistic Actions is just help you fine tune that. So rather than ignore that, we just fine tune it with veterinary information, where we like to say that we help transform pet parents by reducing the anxiety of overwhelming information, because there is overwhelming information out there about what's going on physiologically in our animals. But we disrupt the the model whereby we rely on that information. We disrupt that by trying to rely more on intuitive wisdom, because the information, all the information in the world is not the same as the wisdom.
Hmm. Absolutely, 100%. Now, your upcoming book sounds like a wellness guide every pet parent needs. So, what inspired Path to Pet Wellness, and what do you hope readers take away?
Well, thank you for asking. It was about a decade ago. I started working on a project called Do No Harm. What inspired that was the fact that I realized through observation that a lot of what we were doing from a medical perspective was actually doing more harm than good in some cases. It's really, really amazing. I mean, modern medicine is amazing for certain things, but in other examples, we do more harm than good. So the original Path to Pet Wellness was designed as a guide, mainly connecting science with the reality of what we can do to help our pets live better lives. Not through medicine, not through vaccines, not through all the stuff that we learn in vet school, but by using the information and transforming that into wisdom. And then my own dog passed a couple of years ago, and he transmitted the rest of the Path to Pet Wellness to me, and that helps to merge science and spirituality, and that's what I tried to do in the book.
Hmm.
So it's a practical guide to what you can do today, whether it's using the happiness protocol, whether it's using love therapy, whether it's learning to start to use the homeopathic framework of healing. That's what the book is designed to do, and I'm very just super excited that after almost a decade that it's finally going to be a reality. And, you know,
It's so clear, Jeff, that this book comes from a place of deep care and experience, and I can like see it becoming a real touchstone for pet parents who want to feel both informed and empowered, And you're not just sharing information; you're offering a compassionate roadmap that really honors the human-animal bond.
and I deeply appreciate your saying that. One of the one of the pillars of of the approach is called the conscious and compassionate communication method. So in that we become more conscious as human beings, become more conscious of what our pets are asking and what they're telling us, and we're able to use a compassionate approach to communicating with them in a non-violent way. It's all about working with life instead of working against it.
Hmm. Now, like if someone listening today wants to start this journey, what's one simple yet powerful change they can make right now?
The very first thing, the very first thing I'd have people start doing is observing beam, observing their animal's beam score. In my practice, we do a beam score every day. So that's on the 1 to 10 scale, where 10 is 100%. They're as good as they can be. You always want an animal to be 8, 9, or 10. And if they drop below that, then that's when you need to maybe figure out something else that might be going on or consult your vet homeopath. But along with tracking the beam is tracking all symptoms and keeping writing them down in a journal. So starting to journal for our animals is one of the keys. And what you journal is being physical symptoms and what's going on, in the environment. What are you feeding? What was your day like? What was their day like? What was their activity like? What might have triggered the event that's going on right now?
Mhm. That's such a, I mean, beautiful, accessible piece to start. And I love that how simple and doable that is, Jeff. I mean, it's a great reminder that we don't need to overhaul everything overnight, just take one conscious step in the right direction.
Exactly. It all starts with conscious breath. One conscious breath a couple times a day is all that we need. Because that conscious breath allows us to employ the sacred pause. And that sacred pause is going to help us to respond instead of react.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Dr. Jeff Feinman, you reminded us that healing isn't just for humans, it's for all beings we love. So, listeners, if you're ready to deepen your connection and nurture true wellness for your animal companion, check out Path to Pet Wellness and the Holistic Actions community. Because when we heal with love, we all thrive together.